So I am here at Mount St Helens Visitor Center, and I'm going to go explore it and see what it's all about and enjoy it. And then I'm going to go to Mount St Helens and see it. So hey, let's go enjoy this and explore it. All right, Beach Cricket out. See ya. Okay, and you come in. It's $5 for adults to come in and see the exhibit, and there is a movie and all kinds of interesting things about volcanoes. They have these wonderful statues. This is an Indian berry picker from 1870 to 1910. Beautiful work. And here, Pacific Northwest fur trapper from 1825 to 1835. And right here we have a Spirit Lake Basin miner from 1890 to 1912. This is the Summit Climber from 1960 to 1980. And this is the Forest Service Ranger from 1978 to 1980. This shows hiking and climbing, Spirit Lake camps and lodges, seasonal round. Wow, the little government U.S. forestry stamp on the flatware, or the plateware, I mean. And that's a beer bottle from the shore of Spirit Lake. Here's some volcano thermometers that were melted. Known melting points of man-made products gave researchers a type of thermometer for the lateral blast. Temperatures went as high as 680 Fahrenheit, 360 Celsius. This is called a bread crust bomb. This is a lava bomb that was ejected during the dome building eruptive phase of October 16th through the 18th, 1980. As the outer crust cooled and solidified, continued expansions of the interior by gas pressure caused the outer surface to crack, resembling the crust of freshly baked bread. Can you smell the sulfur present? Yes, I can. And we're going down here. And this shows Mount St. Helens cross section. And this is the tree ring dating techniques and the different areas. Bear Meadow, Spirit Lake, the lava lava beds and Smith Creek or Butte. And over here is microscopic views of Lord St Helens rock types. Rings of time. It says that trees are timekeepers. Ancient trees harbor secrets deep within. A volcanic eruption can injure or stress a tree, causing growth rings to narrow. Scientists study these narrow growth rings to identify the year volcanic activity occurred. In history beneath our feet, these layers of volcanic rocks and soil were taken from a ridge 3 miles northeast of the volcano. Each layer is a chapter in the long history of eruptions and forest growth at Mount St. Helens.
Good afternoon. Our 13-minute movie, Cycle of Chaos and Creation, about the 1980 eruption.
We're going in here to watch a movie about the 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption.
And then there's Mount St. Helens, where in the spring of 1980, the violent side of its volcanic nature stunned the world and provided an unforgettable view of a volcano's cycle of chaos and creation. On March 20th, after more than a century of quiet, Mount St. Helens shuddered with an earthquake. 3 days later, earthquakes were shaking the mountain 40 times an hour. Scientists converged and began monitoring the restless volcano. On March 27th, 7 days after the first quake, Mount St. Helens woke up. That first eruption sent a plume of ash and gas more than a mile into the air and blasted open a crater the size of a football field. Deputies from 2 counties moved to evacuate the area, but 83-year-old Harry Truman, who owned a lodge on Spirit Lake, refused to leave.
That's my wife. Spirit Lake and Mount St. Helens is my wife. Folks, I've lived there 50 years since a part of me. That mountain and that lake is a part of Truman, and I'm a part of him.
March 30th, scientists counted 93 separate eruptions and 53 significant earthquakes. From vantage points around the mountain, eruption, emergency response began. Crew members who'd climbed the mountain for years couldn't recognize a single landmark.
This doesn't even look like the same country. And nothing matches about where's Spirit Lake. Is that it over there? I can't believe it. Camped up in this area. It doesn't look like any place I've ever been before.
Ash obscured visibility, and landing anywhere was extremely hazardous. Yet 170 people were rescued in the first day and a half. But 57 people died who remained missing. Among them, Harry Truman and radio operator Jerry Martin.
My sister gave a call on the morning of May 18th and said, turn on the radio. Mount St. Helens has erupted, and they say that Spirit Lake has disappeared. And I knew that probably, if Spirit Lake had disappeared, that Truman probably had too.
When all of a sudden the emergency vehicles just raced up into the intersection, they were announced, evacuate, evacuate, there's a 200-foot wall of water coming. My God, we didn't know what to do. About that time, I could hear the trees actually coming down the canyon, and it sounded like somebody just breaking twigs over the knees. I mean, it just, I've never heard anything like that before.
Our house was one of several that was lost when the mountain blew. When the mud flow came, the house was picked up, turned around, and hit the bridge, and went out the other end, and that was the last time we saw it.
People had lost their homes. Many lost their jobs, their businesses. Some lost their sense of place and felt they had to leave. The eruption created a new landscape. The entire mountaintop had slid into the Toro River Valley, burying it, and revealing the valley with large pieces of rock or hummocks. With its outlet blocked, the level of Spirit Lake rose dramatically, and new lakes, Castle and Coldwater, were formed. 150 square miles of blown down forest now covered the land. Ash blanketed the landscape to the east, and within 2 weeks, encircled the globe. As the years passed, the erosive power of water continued to change the landscape and disrupt people's lives. Streams cut new courses, often creating spectacular waterfalls. Sediment eroding from the landslide kept clogging the river channels. Rising waters behind the debris dam in Spirit Lake threatened to flood the valley. Questions remained. What to rebuild? How to rebuild? Where would the money come from? Would the mountain erupt again? In the ensuing years, hundreds of millions of dollars were spent building a tunnel to lessen the danger of floods from Spirit Lake, constructing a dam on the North Fork of the Toro River to keep sediment from choking rivers downstream, and building a new Spirit Lake highway into the heart of the blast zone. Even now, decades after the eruption, residents and everyone connected to the volcano continue to readjust their lives and respond to the volcano's cycle of change. In 1982, Congress set aside more than 110,000 acres as the Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument to be managed by the U.S. Forest Service. Here, Earth's natural processes unfold without human interference. Scientists continue their studies, and everyone can explore the volcano's cycle of chaos and creation. eruption. Through trees toppled like matchsticks. From the crater rim to see a mountain in the making, the steaming lava dome. Across the thin line that meant life and death on May 18th. Ancient lava tubes and lava molds are powerful reminders that this was not Mount St. Helens' first eruption and will not be its last. Mount St. Helens, an active volcano, is amidst a cycle of change. Like the blows of Vulcan's hammer, the chaos of eruption is forging a continuous creation, an awe-inspiring monument to the power of volcanoes.
Shows the survivors of the blast. Wouldn't you know? Okay, we're going out. That was very interesting. Oh, I wonder if you can see these. They're little teeny gnats. I don't know if you can see them. They're everywhere. This is very pretty here. It says it's a wetland haven. This is the little area to go out, and a little trail you can go down here. You can go down this way and go down a trail if you'd like. This is what it looks like. Nice. Beautiful area. And you know I got my postcard. There's Cinnamon Girl way over there. Yeah. Hi, Cinnamon Girl. Oops, I'm shaking.